Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. I follow a lot of different chart analysts. There's one in particular that I would like to highlight in this video who has been mega bullish on XRP for figuratively infinity. Figuratively. Not literally. Don't use literally when you mean figuratively. But I tell you what, I've been following him for a good year now. And the entire time that I have, he's been talking about market cycles, and in a general sense, in a macro sense, and let's be real, like no trader is going to get everything right. But in a macro sense, he has been right to this point, and I think he's going to continue to prove right. I certainly suspect anyway. But even then, like when I say somebody like a trader, or a chart analyst to be more precise, is quote unquote wrong, that's not really the most precise way to word it even, because really what they're talking about and what this individual is talking about is probability of outcomes. And I think that responsible chart analysts, the ones that ultimately have the most following, of course, what they think is most likely will not always be the case. But they're typically, certainly if you're talking on a macro scale, more right than they are wrong, or else they don't have the following. Right? That's just my general impression, because again, I follow all sorts of analysts, and it just strikes me that way. The ones that make all sorts of weird, wacky predictions just out of nowhere, pulling them out of thin air, or perhaps pulling them out of their own rear end, those are the ones that's just like, it makes me roll my eyes, and they don't have the biggest followings, and there's a reason. I'm not going to name any names, of course, because I ain't tacky like that. I'm a classy Moon Lambeau. I ain't going to be rolling like that. But this particular analyst, he's been making his case for some time, and he explicitly laid out months ago why he believes that XRP is going to $30. And this is the part in the market cycle where he firmly believes it's basically the denial point where like this is the bull market, and there's been enough like head fakes of people like yeah another one of those. I don't believe it, but he insists that we are on that path. And just the other day, there was a chart shown from this particular analyst showing that for literally years, ever since the beginning of January 2018, there have been lower lows and lower highs on the charts. Just down, 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 until March of this year. And what are you seeing now? You're seeing higher lows and higher highs. So, this was a perfect time for him to do what he did, which is share with you, haters, take a look at what I've been saying forever. And so I wanted to highlight that. But before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap that like button, I'd definitely appreciate the support. And if you are a fan of the idea of XRP one day hitting $30, my friend, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambeau channel, because at a minimum, you will be in good company here. Now, I do want to be clear that I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not a financial advisor, not offering financial advice. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I just think it's fun to talk about these topics and make YouTube videos purely as a hobby. I'm just an enthusiast. There's nothing special about me beyond that. Other than I do have the most awesomest name, Moon Lambeau. Woot woot! I think we can all recognize that. Now, as I record this, XRP is at 26.9 cents. Bitcoin is at $15,998. It's been teetering around there for a hot minute. Got the market cap at $458 billion, and Bitcoin dominance trading's not the right way to word it, but been moving sideways more or less at 64.66%. And I got to say, it was cool to see XRP within the last 24 hours at 27.5 cents. And so what many analysts have been saying we should expect, and the more likely outcome, actually has been happening. So there's a little bit of resistance between the 16,000 to 16,500 range. That's more or less what we've heard from at least most of the chart analysts that I follow. They said expect resistance. And so what we saw is that as you were on this way up to the pump, money was flowing out of altcoins, including XRP, which resulted in the price going down in the short term. Once the resistance hit, money shifted out of Bitcoin and has been flowing back into XRP and other altcoins. Just part of the market cycle. We've seen this, frankly, the market's been behaving like this for years and years and years and years. And people are going to emotionally buy and sell, and they don't even know that they're part of this. Like, they're just cogs in this wheel. They don't even know what they're doing. They're just emotionally buying and selling. And so it's like, to me, it just makes sense to arm yourself with information, especially along these lines so that you can make informed decisions at least. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I would never want to do that. I would never want to be in that position. But I'm just going to suggest that if you're going to make buying and selling decisions, best it to be based on logic and details and facts and data rather than raw emotion. I think that raw emotion, which is what most people use, is a bad idea. I also recognize, while that's true, that without people that behave in such an irrational way, you wouldn't have the market volatility that we're all enjoying here. At least we enjoy it when it goes to the upside, right? There wouldn't be the opportunity without humans behaving the way that we know they do. And, so to me, I'm just recognizing this and taking advantage of it. And so here's a tweet from DIY Investing Chart Analyst. And I got a couple things from him. So here's the first thing. Here, the tweet is as follows. Now that everyone is getting bullish on XRP, let me remind you of this chart I have been shilling everyone for months now. Everyone laughed and said it was an S-word coin. Now we laugh at the idiots who actually listened to the FUD. FOMO my bags now, plebs. And he's got a little winky face there. And here's the chart. And so I've felt firmly the whole way, and admittedly, fine. I've got a crystal ball, but it's broken AF, so it ain't gonna help me none. But I firmly believed, for a lot of reasons, that we're just simply in a bear market. There's no logic in terms of like the price of XRP going down. To me, the whole time it's been going down for years, I firmly believe it had nothing to do with the long-term viability of XRP. Firmly believe that. To me, I firmly believe, on top of that it's just like I just stated a moment ago, emotional humans buying and selling. And XRP, in a general sense, is just following the price action of Bitcoin, as is every other altcoin. And so I've known this. And so seeing all this stuff and the hate and the venom from people that a lot of them are Bitcoin maxis, a lot of them are just people that feel burnt by XRP because they don't know what the hell they're doing. I see all of these comments too. And so DIY Investing then tweeted this out. Make sure you guys read this. XRP fans, this is for you. And this is where we get into the market, the way that this particular chart analyst views it, including the $30 price prediction ultimately. And so he tweeted this thread out initially on July 28th, 2020. So he's been thinking along these lines. And so it's just like a fun, see, I told you, now that the market is heading in the direction that he suspected it would. So unless there's something ridiculously unforeseen, like something that happened in March, with the global pandemic and what it did to the markets, unless something crazy like that happens, according to this analyst and many others, it's just going to keep, in a general sense, climbing. Not that there won't be little short-term retracements, but he's been citing, like I said, higher lows and higher highs. And so here's what he wrote on July 28th, 2020. Why everyone should buy XRP, a thread. It's no secret that XRP is one of the most talked about cryptos in the space. It has held a top 3 status in market cap longer than most coins have even existed. By the end of 2021, I expect the price of XRP to reach $30, which would be over 100x returns from the current price at 23 cents. Right now, we are at a very important time where fear is at its highest, but at the same time, opportunity is as well. At the ultimate point of fear comes the maximum for financial opportunity. This is where XRP is now. Taking a look at our first fractal, we have XRP and silver. It's very obvious to see that cryptos are highly correlated to the commodity markets. Silver and XRP are basically the exact same chart. The best thing, this is just the beginning of the pump. When you layer the two on top of each other, you can really start to visualize just how insane this fractal actually is. This is by far my favorite chart I have ever made of XRP. Some bald guy even tried to say I stole it. And I'm not sure who he's referencing there, but anyway. The XRP cycle from 2015 to 2017 looks identical to the cycle from 2018 to 2020. Bears literally have zero argument. WTF is different about these two charts. It's the same damn thing. Whoever argues against this, I will automatically assume you were dropped on your head as a child frequently. Tell me how you really feel DIY investing. And then he continues, here's where it gets even crazier. If we take the last 6 years of price action, you find a pretty insane trend forming. New years are significant levels in each cycle. Number one, and I'm going to pull this particular chart. There were a bunch of charts along the way which you could have kind of glanced at. I didn't want to take time to zoom in on all of them. The video would go too long, and I just want to kind of get the general point across. This one I'll blow up so you can see what he's talking about, though. Anyway, so 1, cycle top. 2, cycle midpoint. 3, cycle end. And so I'm just going to hold it here for a sec, so if you want to pause it and stare at this, you can do it, but this is the chart that he had associated with this exact one. With this exact tweet, anyway. All right, and then he continues. Assuming the pattern continues to some varying degree, it should look something like this. This is where I would expect my $30 price target to be completed. This is the reason why I sell based off time frames and not so much price targets. It's much more accurate to me. And here's the chart that he cited right here. So this is where he's projecting ultimately it would go. All the way up to potentially $30, according to DIY Investing. Now, and then he continues, even the XRP/BTC chart looks the same as the last cycle. This is always going to be a varying degree of difference between market cycles and fractals. In a lot of ways, market cycles and fractals are one in the same. Alt/BTC pairs often create market cycle fractals. So who's ready for this XRP bull run? We have waited and waited for so long, but it's finally time to shine. Thank you all so much for the constant support. Please share this to the non-believers so they can be faced with the harsh truth. I like the style, man. I like the style. Yeah, and so I think, look, time's going to bear this out. It's like all throughout the last few years, especially in particular during the bear market, which is the vast majority of the last 3 years, when I've seen these types of comments, these negative comments, some of them venomous, some of them just people that you can tell feel like burnt on what's happened, this or that, which, I mean, it's a bear market, so, but especially the venomous ones, I'm just sitting there like, okay, you want to fast forward a few years and have another conversation because your emotional comment and buying patterns don't make no damn sense to Moon Lambo. I'm just saying here. So that's why for me, I've just been dollar cost averaging in while the venomous trolls have been spouting their nonsense at the same time over the last 3 years. They've been doing that. I've been dollar cost averaging in for 3 years. So there we are. And so they did them. I'm doing me, and we'll see who's right. Because I recognize if I'm wrong, I could lose everything. I get it, investing, especially in crypto. It's highly risky. It could go to zero. I just firmly believe it will not. And if I'm wrong, so what? Then okay, fine. Then I deserve to lose everything. There we go. That's what it is to play in these markets effectively. And so that's why I also don't want to pretend like there's no risk to any of this. And it's fair to acknowledge that. But acknowledging that is different than me. Is a separate thing from me just saying I firmly believe what I'm stating, and I really do. I've never felt more optimistic about the long-term viability of certainly the crypto asset class and more specifically XRP. And I tell you what, I'd be freaking out if I didn't have this exposure because I feel like I know what I found in crypto and specifically XRP. A scarce asset that I believe is going to be adopted in a rather notable way. And there indeed is a reason, as I've been saying this for years too, and I love that DIY picked up on this on his very own, this concept of just how long XRP has been among the top cryptos in terms of market cap for the better part of a freaking decade. Most coins, like if you go back to the other top 10 coins back when XRP was, around when it was created, 2013, 2014, those coins are not, they're not in the top 10 anymore. Go back and look. You can go to CoinMarketCap and see what the market looked like back then on any day. You can pick any day, and it'll tell you what the market cap of any crypto was. And it doesn't look like it does now, yet XRP persists. Why might that be? Well, while it's true that XRP, in a broad sense, is following the price action of Bitcoin, there are enough humans like me, and perhaps you if you're listening to this channel, that recognize utility does matter. And there have to be enough of us, or else there's no damn reason that it would still retain its relative position for the better part of a decade. That's what I think, anyway. So cool stuff. So it's all good things in time. I'm going to be as patient as I need to, regardless of what the timeline does, whatever it looks like. I'm just going to sit tight. That's it for this video, though. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.